All right. All right. So I'm sitting here with our director of our museum, Dr. Kathy Large, who also gives leadership to our drama ministry at New Hope Baptist Church. And, you know, it's a different year for us, isn't it, Dr. Large?
Pastor, it is different very much. I'm old and I never thought about trying to do something virtually, but I'm not inhibited at all by my excitement for our museum this year. Yes.
So tell me, you know, I know how I conceptualize a live museum or a living museum, but tell me, I never asked you, what were your thoughts the very first time I brought the concept to you? What were you thinking?
This is not going to work. People just to stand and be on pedestals and to do a recitation of a personality's biography. I didn't feel it, okay, until we first did it, and it was from that point on. I bought into all of it, and to just see and feel what the personalities were saying, you know. It and we've even gotten observers to think that these were the real people.
Sure.
That was interesting. Yeah, that's been interesting every time.
You know, I remember, of course, this is not an original idea. As much as I'd love to say that, hey, I thought of this great way to portray prominent people from African-American history, but I was a cast member in a live museum some years ago, and I want to make sure that I give proper respect to our drama ministry leader. Her name is Miss Patricia Kane, and I'm going to try my best to find her and send her this video, because she was a person who really introduced this idea to me. And I played Dr. Martin Luther King in a dialogue with Malcolm X, and the person who played Malcolm X was a guy named Rodney Goff, and he's a light-skinned guy, but he was shorter than me. So you had a Martin Luther King and a short Malcolm X, but it was a lot of fun. And I just remember watching how those little pockets of people were engaging those exhibits. And then I think about the times that I've gone to a museum, and while it was, some of the stuff is fascinating, but you're just sitting and looking at still pictures and still sculpture, and you're having to do a lot of reading. But to actually see a figure come to life and hear a voice,
yes,
to give the information with inflection, it's powerful.
It really is really powerful. And you think about the amount of learning goes on. You know, people do not, we want everybody to read about our famous people, but at the same time to get a snapshot of that person and that person's contribution to our history, to American history is phenomenal. It really is. Yes, yes. And even our cast, they began to absorb. They began to reflect and feel, some of those things that we're portraying the personality to have had. It's amazing. Absolutely.
Good evening. My name is Reverend Howard C. Earl Jr. I'm the senior pastor of the New Hope Baptist Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's my privilege this evening to welcome you to our annual live African American History Museum. Perhaps you're wondering, what is a live museum? Well, if you've been to a museum, you know you look at exhibits and you just read the explanation or the description of a still figure before you, or perhaps even a photograph. But in a living museum, we take that exhibit, we take that individual, that personality, and they come to life. Just think how special it would be to actually hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak to you, to hear Barack Obama, to hear Kamala Harris. That's what we do. We take ordinary people, volunteers, and they literally bring these individuals and these lives to life. You see, this museum, it embodies what I believe to be the magic and the mystery of the local church. For the local church is nothing but a body of believers who are ordinary people, but through the power of God, they do extraordinary work. This is a part of our extraordinary work, telling the story of God through His people. We've been doing our museum now, we're going on 11 years, and we started in the lower level of our church. From there, our museum was taken out of our church and it's been showcased in the Woodland Mall in the city of Grand Rapids for the last several years. Due to COVID-19, we're unable to showcase our museum live there in the museum, but we are virtual. We're online. So you have the privilege now of not only seeing prominent African Americans that are living today, you'll also get to see clips of previous museums where we have portrayed historical figures and we've portrayed other entertainers. And so you're going to see new faces, but you also, if you've been a part of our museum down through the years, perhaps you'll see some things from the past that will still be just as inspiring as encouraging. Our mission this evening is not to entertain you, but our mission is to encourage you. We don't want to challenge you. We don't want to charm you. We want to challenge you. We want to inspire you. We want to educate you. We want you to be invigorated, and we want you to be inspired to dream bigger dreams. It is our privilege. And so now sit back and enjoy this year's museum. I encourage you to hit the share button right now. Invite all those in your circles to experience this right along with you. God bless you, and thank you for joining us.
My name is unknown to folk. My resting place has no honor. It wasn't marked at all. I, a Negro girl born to slaves in 1813 in the state of Illinois and died in 1892. I was sold 2 times. The first time for $150. At the age of 10, I started fighting for my freedom because Illinois was a free state, I had heard. At the age of 14, I started fighting again. At the age of 16, I fought again to the second family who paid $400 for ownership. His wife died and he moved to Texas, not wanting to take me. He thought, a 16-year-old girl who was toting one baby and expecting another wasn't a good look. So I fought again, and this time, a lawyer by the name of Abraham Lincoln gave me my freedom papers. My name is Nance Liggins Costley, the first Negro freed 20 years before 4 million other slaves were freed by President Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation. Read my story. I pray that one day, my name will be known as the first Negro freed by Abraham Lincoln.
from decades of research and now published in 2015 for all to read. Details of the extraordinary life of this woman, this remarkable woman. Yes, we know her name, Mrs. Nance Liggins Costley.
Born in 1731 to free black slaves in Baltimore, Maryland, with little to no formal education, I was largely self-taught. My name is Benjamin Banneker. I wore many hats: tobacco farmer, mathematician, astronomer, author, and land surveyor. I invented the first fully functioning wooden clock, and it ticked for decades. In 1790, I sent a copy of my journal, the Almanac, with a letter urging the abolition of slavery to Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson. Impressed with my abilities, Jefferson recommended me to General George Washington to be part of a team of 3 to lay out the city, Washington, D.C. But I wound up saving the project when the lead architect quit in a fury, taking all the plans with him. I became the designer of Washington, D.C., the city in the United States where our capital sits. I was able to save the project by reproducing a complete layout of all the streets, parks, and major buildings from memory. What's most impressive is that I was able to replicate the exact plan in 2 days. Our capital still stands, symbolizing democracy in our United States of America.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the
I was here last year as a participant in your annual African American Live Museum. I'm back! I am so pleased to virtually bring greetings to Reverend Dr. Howard Earl and the New Hope Baptist Church for your continued commitment in celebrating African American richness in achievements, contributions, and culture. It is an honor to be our United States of America's first woman, first African American, and first woman of Asian descent, Madam Vice President. Truly, I stand on the shoulders of Shirley Chisholm and so many other Black women who paved the way to prop me up on their shoulders. I am the first, but I won't be the last. Now I've got to get back to work. Thank you.
We remember the accomplished some sheroes and heroes who died in 2020. The esteemed actor, Mr. Chadwick Boseman. The phenomenally skilled Mr. Kobe Bryant. The actress, Mrs. Janet Du Bois. The Juneteenth founder, Mr. Al Edwards. The Black Enterprise founder, Mr. Earl Graves Sr. The former White House butler who faithfully served 11 presidents, Mr. Wilson Roosevelt Germain. The NASA mathematician, Ms. Katherine Johnson. The Honorable Congressman, Mr. John R. Lewis. The country singer, Mr. Charlie Pride. The rock and roll singer, Little Richard. The first Black coach to win a Division I NCAA championship, Mr. John Thompson. The R&B and soul singer, Mrs. Betty Wright. The civil rights legend, Reverend C.T. Vivian. And the R&B and soul singer, Mr. Bill Withers.
Photograph little girls and their dolls and toys. I really like taking pictures of dolls because they cooperate. I also like taking pictures of weddings. I also enjoy organizing dresses and canned food fundraisers. My camera is the Canon EOS 80D, a gift from Steve Harvey. I have had the pleasure of interviewing Oprah Winfrey and Disney Stocking Stuffins. My greatest opportunity was to take pictures of President Obama. I was able to go into the press room at the White House and take the pictures. I was the youngest media person in the room. That was so cool.
Good afternoon. My name is Shaker Connie Mason, and I am a classically trained British cellist. I have been playing the cello since I was 6 years old. At the age of 9, I gained the highest marks in the UK for grade A cello. I have been working with my teacher, Ben Davis, for the past 5 years, and I love it. Not only did I win, but I became the first black winner since the competition's launch in 1978. The Young BBC Musician Prize has given me many opportunities. I have been able to play in the Chineke Orchestra. Chineke Orchestra is an orchestra that is made up of black and ethnic minority musicians. I live in England with my 6 siblings. All of us are gifted musicians. My older sister, Isata, is a wonderful pianist. Even my little sister, who is just 6 years old, is a wonderful cellist. As an aspiring cellist, I have played many difficult pieces. Today, I will play for you a piece from Bach's Cello Suite No. 9.
We extrapolate from the words of Medgar, Malcolm, and Martin. The seed of appropriation and strategic planning exemplified by Medgar. The seed of self-pride and the power from within exercised by Malcolm. And using as RFO for success the seed of nonviolence and conflict resolution as personified by Martin. Understanding that God knows the plans He has for our lives, we are seeds of young boys being planted to become a crop of black men.
We are New Edition. Founded in 1978 in Roxbury, which is a suburb of Boston, Massachusetts. We are responsible for such iconic hits as Candy Girl, Can You Stand the Rain, If It Isn't Love, and Mr. Telephone Man. I would like to introduce you to Ronnie, you to Bobby, how y'all doing? You to Ricky, you to Mike, and you to Johnny Gill. Mama. And as your dreams and your vision board has already told you, I am Ralph President. My name is Ronald DeVoe Jr. However, you may know me as Ronnie. My Uncle Brooke was New Edition's mentor and manager, and he invited me to join the group. Besides being a member of New Edition and Belle Biv DeVoe, I am also co-owner of a real estate agency in Atlanta, just in case this career in the music industry didn't work out. I've been married to my beautiful wife for over 10 years. And before I go, I just want to let you guys know that my BBD brothers and I, we just released a new album called 3 Stripes. Go download it legally today.
I am the Bobby Brown, singer, actor, dancer, and songwriter. I'm one of the original members of New Edition. Unfortunately, I was born in As I went solo, my second album, Don't Be Cruel, took the world by storm. It sold over 7 million copies. 7 million! I know how Bobby get it down. I will always remember New Edition because he's my brother. As you all know, I was married to Whitney Houston for 15 years with other books. Unfortunately, Whitney passed in 2020. My beautiful daughter, Bobby Christina, passed away in 2015. It was a hard time. God kept my head up and let a pathway of life.
My name is Ricky Bell, fondly called Slick. Slick Rick by my brothers. I am a founding member of New Edition and a member of BBD with Ronnie and Mike. I was instrumental in the production of the New Edition biopic, which was featured on BET last month. Did I mention that the miniseries was the highest rated show on BET in the last 5 years with over 4 million viewers? 4 million! Yes. The group is like a family, and I am grateful to be a part of a band of brothers who truly love, support, and care for each other.
What's up, everybody? What's up? I am Michael Bivens. I am a singer and a rapper. I've been considered to be a music mogul, and I am a founding member of the group New Edition and BBD. I have produced artists such as ABC and the iconic Boyz II Men.
The East Coast family.
One of my proudest career moments was when I discovered and introduced Boyz II Men to the world, one of the most successful groups in the 90s. I am a husband and a father. My household has a foundation of love, including prayer as a family. Time always equals love.
Keep together! Keep together! Wakanda forever! Wakanda forever!
Politics and race in the age of Obama. In 2016, Judy Woodruff and I moderated a presidential debate with Secretary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders, becoming the first two women to moderate a Democratic presidential debate. I am very grateful and humbled to have contributed to such a worthy field of journalism.
Tony Award and 2 Academy Awards, one for the Best Supporting Actor in a Historical War Film Drama, Glory, and the Best Actor in a Crime Thriller, Training Day. I directed the biographical film of Antoine Fisher, Great Debate, and my third film, Fences. And I must say, this film, Fences, is a must-see. I'm just saying.
Stay on the desired intended course. I was NASA's first African-American manager. My name is Katherine Johnson, mathematician in the flight branch of NASA. I worked with mathematical techniques developed for precise analysis of spacecraft navigation. I am a recipient of the NASA Lunar Orbiter Program Group Achievement Award for my work associated with Lunar Orbiter. The highly successful Lunar Orbiter, managed by Langley, produced 5 successful photographic flights within a single year and returned to Earth with highly detailed knowledge of the entire moon. The 3 of us played a significant role in astronaut John Glenn and other orbits into space. We were some bad women.
Princeton, Randy, Columbia, Morehouse, Fisk, and the University of Pennsylvania. I was also presented with the Civilian Medal of Honor by the President of the United States. I'm a civil rights activist and a congressman from the state of Georgia, where I've represented the 8th district for more than 30 years. I know something about marching for justice.
Hello, my name is Chesley Christ. I was born in Jackson, Michigan, and raised in North Carolina. I wear the title Miss USA 2019. I was the oldest woman at 28 to have won the title in the pageant's 68 years history. I am a lawyer and fight on behalf of women's economic independence. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lloyd Austin III. I am a 4-star general and a West Point graduate. My lovely wife, Charlene, and I have been married for 40 years, and we have 2 beautiful sons. In my 41 years of public service in the armed forces, I have held numerous positions. My most recent post before retiring in 2016 was 12th Commander of U.S. Central Command, known as CENTCOM. I am proud to say that I was the first African American to hold that position. It was reported in December of 2020 that then President-elect Joe Biden would nominate me as Secretary of Defense. On January the 22nd of 2021, I was sworn in by Madam Vice President Kamala Harris as Secretary of Defense. Indeed, it is an honor to serve as the first African American Secretary of Defense in U.S. history. I read a comment bestowed upon me by President Biden, and I quote, "We needed a leader who has been tested and matches the challenges that we face in this moment." I am humbled by those words and the trust he placed in me. My experiences has prepared me for the challenges before our nation. I am thankful to represent our country's honor and dignity, and always above all, looking out for the American people. Thank you, and God bless America.
Good evening. I am glad to be with you during your annual African American Museum celebration. Thank you to Pastor Earl and the New Hope Baptist Church for the invite to participate. I am Raphael Warnock, a pastor and an author. Since 2005, I have served as the senior pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, the historic church where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once served. I am the 5th and youngest pastor to serve since her founding. I am also honored to be the first Black elected United States Senator in Georgia's history. As a senator, I bring the whole of me to the United States Capitol. I am the 11th child of my parents' 12 children, and I grew up in public housing, married and divorced, father of 2 children, and I attended Morehouse College. In fact, the only reason I attended Morehouse College is because Dr. King went to Morehouse. Graduated cum laude, and I went on to earn a Master's of Divinity, a Master of Philosophy, and a Doctorate of Philosophy degrees from Union Theological Seminary, a school affiliated with Columbia University. In 2000, I was arrested and charged with obstructing a police investigation in a suspected child abuse incident at a camp on a church ground. I intervened to make sure an adult was present while a juvenile was being questioned. the charges against me were dropped. As a senator, I am woke, and I believe we must tackle the social ills such as poverty, health care, mass incarceration, climate change, voter registration, and voter suppression. I understand that my individual location is not as important as our collective destination. Please keep me in prayer.
So people want to hail me for diverting the invading mob away from the Senate chamber on January the 6th. My name is Eugene Goodman, a Washington, D.C. Capitol Police officer and new acting deputy House Senate at Arms. This is my first public comment, and this will be the last comment that I will talk about on that awful day. I am no hero. I am the one acting as a professional protector for the democracy and the executives working in the Senate House. I am the one who is a U.S. Army veteran, and I am honored to have served for the Washington Capitol Force since 2011. My name is Eugene Goodman.
My name is Ava DuVernay. I am a writer, producer, director, and distributor of independent film. Some of my films are Selma, 13th, A Wrinkle in Time, and When They See Us. The film Selma centers in the battleground city of Selma, Alabama, and focuses on the works of Dr. King and his followers' efforts to obtain voting rights for Blacks. The film 13th centered on race in the United States criminal justice system, and it is with this film that I became the first Black woman to be nominated by the Academy as a director. Disney's A Wrinkle in Time noted me as the first Black woman to direct a live-action film with a budget over $100 million. And When They See Us was a written Netflix drama I wrote based on the 1989 Central Park Five and was nominated for 16 Emmy Awards. My name appears on the annual Times 100 Most Influential People of the World. I am a passionate writer and director. I write with authority to chronicle history, and I go to the source of the truth. See, activism shows its face in various forms, and the legend herself, our beloved Miss Cicely Tyson, graced the world stage on just how to be great and what a great life lived. It is my hope that my films provide inspiration to move in the knowledge of social justice, for I move without having permission to do so.
Good evening. My name is Tamika Mallory, a single mother of a son whose father was murdered in 2011. I give credit to Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network that taught me to react to this tragedy with activism. So, in 2014, I helped create the Crisis Management System for Gun Violence Protection Organizations and co-chaired Gun Violence Awareness Month. In 2017, I was the co-organizer of the Women's March, where an estimated 500,000 people attended in Washington, D.C., and over 5 million people participated worldwide. It was one of the largest one-day rallies held in Washington, D.C. It is about creating a space to voice concerns of women, fears, feelings, plights, and issues we care about. We are not only the backbone of a people, but the engine, the force that drives the consciousness of a democracy. We exert our power in organizing and getting out the vote. No other subgroup even comes close to matching the force of conviction to organize, mobilize, and getting out the vote. And if you want to get somewhere, follow a Black woman. We want our issues front and center. Issues of mass incarceration, gun violence, and police brutality. My fight for equity is my life's work. As always, we are always fighting for our democracy, even when our democracy does not fight for us.
Hello, my name is Asia Branch. I am the first African American woman to be crowned Miss Mississippi in 2018 and crowned Miss Mississippi USA in 2019. As the first Black to represent the state of Mississippi, I went on to win the 2020 title, Miss USA. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and the sixth child out of 8 siblings. I attended a summer session at Harvard University. My alma mater is the University of Mississippi. When I was 10 years old, my father was arrested for kidnapping and armed robbery, where me and my siblings watched from the car. It was the day our lives changed forever. We had a beautiful home and life. People looked at us differently when they found out my father was in prison. It was a critical stage that ended up changing me. I felt this overwhelmed sense of shame. A major part of my platform as Miss USA is criminal justice. I started an initiative called Finding Your Way, empowering children of incarcerated parents. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Kismikia Corbett, a key scientist in the development of the COVID-19 vaccine. I come from a large family of step-siblings and foster siblings from North Carolina. I earned my PhD in microbiology and immunology from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I am a 35-year-old who works at the Vaccine Research Center at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. My team and I have done this tremendous work to get to the development of the COVID-19 vaccine. Since I work in an industry of 70% white, it was crucial for me personally to be at the lead of not only of the COVID-19 vaccine, but to tell the narrative. I understand the justified distrust among my people. Such distrust in the public health system embedded in history of unjust and racist system. Today, I am asking you to trust the system of science. I am asking you to trust my work. I know the alarming statistics, that of dying 3 times to that of white people and 4 times of hospitalization. We must get the shot. We must save lives. I know that we should get the shot during the public health crisis. It builds our immune system. Thank you, Dr. Earl and the New Hope Church for allowing me space to encourage our people to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark path has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us safely on the way, Thou whisper by Thy light, let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray through the path where our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadow beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed your time with us this evening. I know it was certainly a privilege putting this museum together. We didn't know what God would do, but we just felt God doing something special. I want to invite you to join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for worship. Join us live on Facebook or on YouTube as we celebrate the goodness of God together. Have a great evening and God bless you.